Hello again, faithful listeners, or newcomers. Vegan Cheesecake in the house, reading for you another little story thing by Defenceless. Find Defenceless on FA on Tumblr. Probably you listened to already to my first story by Defenceless called Trixie's New Trick. If not, find that in related videos, of course, on my channel. And if you did, this is going kind of in a similar direction, but it's way better. And it's connected to pictures, so you're gonna love it. Eat Up by Defenceless. Another piece of cake was crammed into her mouth. 2 days this had lasted already. She had been eating nothing but creamy, fattening cakes every waking moment, only getting brief pauses to breathe or drink. The gold magic of her sister was merciless, moving her jaws and making her body fill up more and more, bite for bite. She whimpered, but she couldn't move. Using magic would be a bad idea as well, as she would easily be overpowered by her sister and her forces. "Shh, Luna," the white mare said to her calmly, looking over the slowly growing body. She was doing well. "You know this is important." Another piece was shoved down Luna's throat. Eating hurt by now, but the alicorn of the sun pushed on, with a creepy kind of smile on her face, like a loving mother. Luna wanted to struggle against the treatment, but it was no use. All she could do is stare upwards to the one who was doing this to her, pleading with tearful eyes for her to stop. "Luna, don't look at me like that," Celestia chuckled. "One of us has to do it. And since Equestria needs me, only you can do it. Why aren't you happy? Finally, you are doing something useful for all the ponies." Luna could feel her stomach stretching at every new piece, but she knew these 2 days were only the beginning. They needed her to be big, very big, and in so little time. She just feared it, the pain, the gaining, the end of all this. Celestia pressed upon her squishy sister's belly once, shaking her head. "If only you could gain properly. But do not worry, I will help you. You will become grand, just like they want you to be." In the past week she had gained a quite plush look, but regardless of her size already being increased, her sister did not find it to be enough, or quick enough. The cake was forced and crammed into her mouth quicker and more brutal, magic helping it find its way into her middle. "Luna, you're doing well, but we need to speed things up. They need you very soon, and I cannot send you there if you are so thin. It would make things easier if you struggled less." But she had to struggle. As she agreed to this, she knew it would hurt. She knew that she would gain. But things were getting out of hoof here. She hadn't expected it to be so much. Her stomach was already serving as a cushion, and yet she was to be filled to bigger sizes, even quicker. Was Celestia perhaps planning something different with her than they had agreed on? Or was this, in fact, what had been planned all along? "No, no, no, this won't do," her sister shouted, gazing over the ever-grown pony of the blue mare of the night. She was furious as Luna was simply not gaining as fast as she should. "You said you would be able to do the task!" Luna whimpered, as even as her sister shouted, her mouth was being stuffed with cake. Cake the entire day and night long. She felt how her mass had increased over the weeks of feeding. Fat started to hug her neck, legs and flank, her stomach hanging deep enough to keep her pinned down. "We need to speed this up," the brilliant white mare grumbled. Much to Luna's horror, a machine was brought along, being set in front of her. The tube was shoved down her throat. She knew by now that this wasn't going to end soon. She might never be normal-sized again. She feared that in the end nothing more than a big ball of chop would be left of her. She had lost count of the days by now. All she knew was that there was food being pumped into her non-stop, forcing her body to pillow out and form more and more flab. Her cheeks had puffed up, her neck began to grow into a rest for her head, and her legs were being pushed against her squishy, constantly growing middle. Not a single spot on her had been spared from new layers of fat, and still her sister did not appear to want to stop. "Finally! You are starting to look promising," Celestia cheered. "Maybe we will make it in time now." Luna, by now, just wished to know, how long would this keep up? Resting on the big, slushy pillow her stomach had by now become, Luna could barely move anymore. Her neck made it nearly impossible to look around, and her hind was grown into a cushion of its own. The beautiful long legs she once had were now embedded in cozy flap, appearing so much shorter, but definitely softer. She was gaining far quicker with this method, much to her sister's delight. "Looks like you will make it in time. Just know, all ponies will be quite happy about this," the white mare chuckled. "Don't worry, it won't take long anymore for you to reach your goal." Luna was just not sure to be happy about it or not. She now knew that she had agreed to do something to please other ponies. Perhaps she should have questioned her sister's words back then, but there was no turning back, and she hoped that it would end before she ended up bursting. With a plopping sound, the hose was removed from Princess Luna. She had grown remarkable, being entirely immobile and unable to move more than her wings and perhaps her ears. While she was padded greatly with fat, her stomach had finally reached its limit and didn't want to hold any more. Celestia just smiled at her sister, who almost looked like she was her very own moon now. "Wonderful, Luna! And you even made it a few hours in advance." She pressed against the taut belly sphere of her sister, and indeed, besides the layers of fat, it was full up and didn't give in. "You should really listen to what I say too. You almost look like you didn't expect this to happen." The Mare of the Sun chuckled. "But all of the ponies wanted to see a lot more of you in Season 3, and truly, you deliver now. You can go play a bigger role, so don't frown like that." Celestia had indeed promised her a bigger role, and more of her, but never had she expected it to go this way. Either way, the ponies would now be able to see a lot more of their favorite princess now. And maybe more, if they only wished it enough. And this is the end of this little sequence called Eat Up, written and drawn by Defenceless. Link in the description if you really want to follow the storyline like this. It begins with picture 1, and I'm not gonna link the rest of this. Just click on new and you'll find what you are looking for. So yeah, thanks for listening everybody, and stay tuned for more.